Hi guys, welcome back to another wonderful tutorial. My name is Blessing. If you are seeing this channel for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. So in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to draft a basic pants trouser. Okay, so I'll be making this upper part as the beginning of the trouser, that's the waistline of the trouser, and the other side will be the side part of the trouser. Okay, so to start with, we'll be measuring the full length that we'll need starting from that line. Okay, we'll be measuring the full length of the trouser. Okay, the camera is not covering all the table at a time, so the full length is going to be 40. Okay, so I went ahead to measure the hip measurement for the waist. Okay, that is what we are going to do for the first time. Okay, so to get the crotch line, it will be 40 divided by, that's your hip divided by 4. That is the formula I've been using and it has been working for me. Okay, so 40 is the hip that I'm using to draft this pattern. So divided by 4 is going to give me 10. So I'll mark 10 from the waistline. That will give us the crotch depth. Okay, that will give us the crotch depth. So the next thing we are going to mark now is the hip line. So from the waist, I'll be marking 8.5 or 8 rather as the hip line, depending on the height of the person you want to sew for. Okay, so for this hip, I'm using 8 inches. Okay, so don't forget I said the length of the trouser is going to be 40. Then I went ahead to mark the knee line. Okay, the knee line is 21 inches. All right, so the next thing we are going to do now is to label the lines, which is the starting point, that's the waistline. We have the hip line, then we have the crotch, the knee, and also the full length of the trouser. Okay, that's the knee line, right? So the next thing we are going to be doing now is to mark our hip measurement. So the hip measurement, that's on the hip line. You measure your hip measurement, which is 40 divided by 4, which is 10. You go to the crotch line as well and measure the same measurement you have for the hip. So to get the hip extension now, to get the crotch extension, that's for us to get that curve. The measurement I've been working with is 40, that's your hip divided by 12. Okay, your hip divided by 12, then you subtract 0.75. So I went ahead to write this down so that you can see what I have done. Your hip divided by 12, whatever you get, you subtract 0.75. This is what we have with 40. Okay, that's 2.58. So go ahead and mark 2.58 from that point where the hip measurement stops. Okay, so that is where we are going to construct our curve for the crotch line. Okay, so the curve will match up with the hip line, and from the hip line it will match up to the waistline like so. Okay, this is as simple as it is, guys. So for us to get our waist measurement, okay, we go ahead and measure the waist starting from the center front like so. You measure your waist and you add 1 inch for the dart intake, then you draft out your hip curve like so. That's from the waist to the hip, just the way I have done. Okay, so to have that curve at the center front, the center front of this of basic patterns, especially trousers and skirts, the front part is always a bit lower than the back part. Okay, so went down by 1 inch. Okay, then you will mark out your dart intake, which is 4. So you cut out your dart like so. This is how your dart is going to be looking on the trouser. Okay, then that part is going to be going off. That's the curve for the center front. Okay, that is all about the upper part, guys. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is to complete our trouser pattern by drafting the lower part of the trouser. Okay, so now automatically the measurement we have on the crotch line gives us what we have for the thigh circumference. Okay, this is always correct for me. So the measurement I have, the same measurement I have on the crotch line, I will measure the same I'll mark the same line from on the knee line and also on the ankle line. That's the hemline of the trouser. I'll mark the same measurement I have on the crotch line, okay? So now, we'll now go ahead and divide the line into two equal parts. For example, if what you have on your crotch line is 10, you divide it into two, which is going to be 5. So that's give us the center line of that's the crease line for the trouser. That helps us to get the center line for the trouser, because everything we are going to be marking out has to be equal on the both sides. So now we have our measurement of the thigh line already, that's serving as the crotch line. So the measurement we have for the knee line is 10. So we divide 10 into 2 and that will give us 5. You can see what we have there. So mark 5 on one side and mark 5 on the other side, because it has to be equal. Then we'll go to the knee line, to the hem line of the pattern and mark out the hem measurement. That's the ankle measurement, which is 8. So mark 4 on both sides of the pattern. So the next thing we are going to do now is to join all the lines together. So guys, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do well to subscribe. If you are seeing this channel for the first time, please subscribe, like and share. Turn on the notification bell so that each time I post a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Okay? And if you're a returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back. So this is it, guys. We'll join all the lines together like so, right? This is going to be giving us a perfect pant trouser pattern, okay? So this is it, guys. You can see how simple and straightforward it is. Just go with this formula and you are going to be getting your trouser perfect, okay? So go ahead and quickly cut this out so you can see what we have for the front piece. So guys, this is it. This is the front piece. You can see how easy it is. So I went ahead to label this as a front piece so as not to get us confused. So the next thing now is to place another pattern paper, and I added a little on the down part so we can have a longer length, okay? So I place the front pattern on the other pattern to draft the back piece. So I went in by 1 inch. Now we are drafting the waistline of the back piece. I went in by 1 inch using the front pattern. So from there I went up by 2 inches. That's for the center back of the trouser. Okay, you know we already took out 1 from the front, right? So we are adding another 1 to that to make it 2 for the back piece. Okay, so because we went in by 1, so we're coming out by that same 1 on this other side. Okay, you can see what we have. We have our exact waist measurement over there. So I'll join the lines together like so, from the center front, from the center back to the side. Okay, the paper keeps moving around, so I'll just go ahead and pin it down. So on the hip line now, I went out by 2 inches. Okay, so let me quickly pin this down so it will stop moving around. Okay, so on the hip line, that's to draft the back pattern. On the hip line, we'll go in by 2 inches. Then on the crotch line, we'll add 2.5, the same 2.5 height we added at the front piece to extend the crotch line is what we are going to add to the back piece to extend the crotch line. Starting from where the crotch line for the front stops, you add your 2.58, okay? So you join all the lines together like so. So when I was trying to draft this other side, I discovered that the line was looking a bit wider. You can see it's supposed to be 8.5. Okay, So this is where the line is supposed to match up with the lines coming from the down part. Okay, so here's how you connect your lines from the crouch to the hip, from the hip to the waist. That is for the back piece. Okay, so you join your hip line to your waist to your hip line like so. Okay, everything remains the same for the side, while for the center you'll be adding 1.5 inches. Okay, this is just to create the allowance we need. Okay, so it will not be too tight. All right, so you join all your lines together like so, starting from the crouch line down to the hem line of the pattern. So this other side, the measurement remains the same. You all know for the trouser pattern is not always having equal side of the measurement. Okay, the front piece is always a bit smaller than the back piece. So this is what we have for the back piece, guys. I hope you understand. If you have your questions, please ask your questions on the comment section. I will definitely reply you. Okay, so we'll cut it out for us to see what we have for the front, for the back piece, right? So this is what we have. So now we'll go ahead and mark out our dart. Okay, we went down by 4 inches and I went in by 4 inches from the center front to give us the dart. So this is what we are going to have for the dart lines. So this is it, guys. You can see how straightforward it is. If you follow this method, you have a perfect pattern. Okay, so this is the back piece. So each of them are going to be cut in two if you want to transfer on fabric. So this is what we have, guys, right? So if you actually want to add your pocket pattern, okay, you might choose to add your pocket pattern. As if you want to add pocket, your side pockets to your trouser, this is how it is being done. You go in by 1.5 and so depending on how deep you want your trouser to look, then you come down by 7 inches and have your curve like so. Okay, so that part is going to be where the pocket is going to be sewn before it is joined together to the side. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.